What's going on? I'm Vince G of 400 Productions, and this is Behind the Scenes. And today we're interviewing Dave, I'm going to butcher this, Dave Lisowski. I believe that's the correct way of saying it, but he'll let us know for sure. Foxal Media. He specializes in a lot of different stuff, especially video, strategic assets and all that. But you know what? Let's let him tell y'all exactly what he does. But let's get to it. How's it going, man?
Dude, I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you big time, dude.
Nah, no problem at all. I want to ask you a quick question. How do you say your last name?
That's you're hitting me with the challenging ball, the hard ball right off the bat here. So you ever see Monsters Inc. where it's like they're like Mike Wazowski?
Yeah.
It's Dave Lisowski. So it's like that's always the closest reference I can give anybody. You're like that close.
Oh man. Okay. Next time for sure. I know I'm gonna keep struggling with it, but next time.
I've got faith, man.
But yeah. Quick question for you. Your business is called Foxal Media, right? Mm-hmm. How did you come up with that?
Yeah, dude. So there's the long version and the short version. I'll give you the short one real quick, but it's basically Polish to English translation of my last name. So Lisowski basically means of fox or of foxes.
Okay.
And so Foxal in English basically means of fox. So that's the fast version there, but the slightly more flushed out version is that I had way too much time on my hands when I was starting the business.
Yeah.
And, and so I kind of started thinking like, all right, like it's a play on the word focal, and the X in the center is the focal point of the word. Foxal, X marks the spot. Dude, there was a lot going on, but basically I wanted to be able to use that fox from my last name and do something with it, and that was kind of what it ended up becoming. But nowadays it's just the name,
So what y'all are not seeing right now is that we are having so many technical difficulties. It's crazy. Like Dave is a video guy, I'm a video guy. We have all this equipment, but it does not want to cooperate today. This was initially supposed to be a live video, but bad signal and just issues with equipment. But anyway, third time, we're gonna bring this back in. Dave, what's the long version of how you came up with Foxal Media?
Yeah, dude. So the long version is that I had way too much time on my hands when I was first starting the business. I was like 21 years old and just, figured, let me start something, let me figure it out, make it real cool. So I basically took the Fox part of my Polish last name, and I knew I wanted to do something with that, so I kind of played on the word focal, put the X as like the focal point of the word Foxal, X marks the spot in the middle. There's a lot of theory going on, and I just was like, I'd nerd out about that stuff, and it just kind of the happy accident ended up being that it was basically the English version of my last name. So it was a big workaround to get there, but
I was wondering where the Fox came in. It was just so random. A lot of people, they'll use their last name in some way or something that represents them in some way, but it's like, how did he go from his last name to Fox? But that makes sense now.
Yeah, that the Lis in Lisowski means fox in Polish. So that's, we got there eventually. It all, somehow I got the last name in there.
How long have you been doing video production for?
On paper, it's been like 8 years. 8 years is when I registered the business, so 2016. But 2018 is when I really went full time with it because I graduated college. I hadn't been hearing back from any of the marketing positions that I was kind of putting out for, and figured, well, I'll never have this little responsibility again in my life, so let's go for it. And that was a little over 6 years ago now.
Let's talk about the lead up to that. How did you get your start in business or video?
Yeah, dude. So for Christmas of 2015, I got a combined birthday Christmas present type of thing. I got my first camera. It was a Canon T5i, and I hit the ground running with it. I was working with a lot of bands and musicians at the time, and I was trying to do marketing, booking shows, anything that I could just to get involved more. And so once I got the camera, it kind of just so happened to line up that I was about to head out on a like 3.5 week tour with one of the bands. And of course, they go, well, you have the camera, so like you're the media guy now. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I am. Let me figure this out real quick. And so I started taking pictures, doing like this video journal series, kind of like vlogging the whole experience. And all the bands that I had become friends with back home was like, so you're gonna do this when you get back for us, right? Okay. I'm like, I guess I am. And within a couple months, I decided, let me do this legit. I'm gonna register the business because I had been kind of taking some business classes in college, and I thought I'm gonna do this very legitimate. And that was kind of how it started. I started just shooting shows, concerts for bands, friends of mine, and then it, for 2 years, was pretty much just that before I really started working with businesses.
Tell me about some of the experiences you had with the bands. Like, anything you can tell me about that? They got to be crazy ones.
Yeah, dude, it was the time of my life, man. I do not regret it. I wouldn't change anything, but I will say it was the poorest time of my life. Like, that's the thing with a lot of, when you're working with like local or regional bands and musicians, there's very little money in the pot to begin with. So to try and make that your main source of income, very difficult. A lot of hustling for like not as much money coming back. So I was just doing anything that I could to be involved in any way. I was shooting local bands, like friends of mine, doing promo photos, just like little videos, kind of just like funny skit things, anything I could to like get access. I wanted that access to bigger shows, to like the radio station stuff going on. So I just used basically my camera as my ticket to get in anywhere that I could, to actually meet people that were going to help me do the bigger things. Like, I wanted to be able to use the camera to get into the make the radio connections, to then introduce the bands that I was working with, to get them plugged. And I think today still, like, the camera, I view it as kind of that all access pass.
Yeah.
It's the means to an end to make the connections that you want. So that was one of the big things back then. But like, dude, I was able to shoot so many bands that I like grew up listening to that I never thought that I would be able to like be that close to or meet. Like, dude, awesome things. Grew up listening to like a lot of the Warped Tour type of bands, metalcore, pop punk. And so being able to like hang out with those people on occasion, I'm not saying that was an everyday thing, was very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely. So who was your favorite band that you got to film?
Oh, man. One of the cooler experiences was there's a band called Beartooth that is awesome. They're like a powerhouse of a band in the scene now. But in the earlier days, they were opening for another band I love called Bring Me the Horizon. And I got to interview the lead singer of Beartooth like before that show was happening. So I got in like early access and I got to see Bring Me the Horizon sound check. Like, it was straight up me, the crew, and like my one buddy that I brought with me in there. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, nobody gets to see this, but I'm here for it. Yeah. So like stuff like that was some of the cooler standout memories, for sure.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to a concert, like, to go film it and everything, and we got to go in backstage. It's like, it looks so empty. Like, this is what nobody else gets to see, and it's crazy what we got to see that no one else did. Like, I think we had locker rooms there. Did y'all have that in anywhere you filmed?
It depends. Like, a lot of the venues that you go to are, or at least a lot of the venues I was going to, were like the smaller to mid-sized clubs. So if you go to like the arenas and the stadiums and shit, like, yeah, they've got. Sorry, is it? I don't want to like.
No, it's cool. Whatever. it don't matter.
Cool. They've got like the big fancy setups and the elaborate green rooms. But when you're going to like smaller, 300 to like 1,000 capacity rooms, they are a little bit more like, they're a little more of a grab bag. Some of them are going to be pretty nice with like couches and space and fridges and stuff. Some of them are literally like a closet that they forgot about, and they were like, yeah, you guys can go hang back there. So it's a variety for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to back up just a little bit. I wanted to make a joke. Like, it's funny whenever you get a camera, like it is like an all access pass. You know, there's a video that went around about if you carry a ladder, you can get into anywhere. If you carry a camera, you can get into anywhere too. And I was this close to really testing it out. It was a graduation, and I was like, man, I have this nice camera with me. What do you think they would do if I just went downstairs and acted like I belonged and started filming? But it's like, you know what? I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm just gonna let it be.
That's the biggest thing is if you look like you belong and you walk confidently, you can like nobody asks anything almost. It's kind of crazy. Like some of the spaces that were places that I was able to get into by just acting like I belonged is crazy. Not to say that I didn't. I did have access to these places, but like when you are walking backstage or something, if you don't like, if you look at security and like you like try and like make sure that they see like you have a bracelet or a pass or something, they're gonna like look at you and they're gonna make sure. If you have the camera and you're just walking through and you don't slow down or anything, you just keep looking where you're going, half the time it's like a lot of the time I'd make sure that they knew who I was too. I'd shake their hands, I'd introduce myself. But it is kind of funny. It's like if you just I've seen the ladder video, like you put on a high vis vest and walk in with a ladder, it's like game over.
Yep. Yeah, that actually happened recently too. We went to go film the Tattoo Collectors Expo. And I didn't realize this, but we walked in through the vendor entrance, and there was a security guard and everything, but we're carrying the cameras, and they just let us on through. It's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, dude, it's a nice perk for sure. You know, and I think people maybe don't think about that unless you started off doing like music or events, you know. But it's definitely it's a very real thing.
So you said you started with the T5i. I actually started with the T4i. So you probably got yours in what, 2013, 2014?
2015. 2015. I think they might have had like the T6i was out by that point, so it was still a contender. But yeah, I think it was December 2015.
Do you still have that camera?
I do. Yeah. Funny enough, I actually bought a second one. Because when you're shooting concerts, having to switch lenses, like a lot of the times you have the first 3 songs that you're able to shoot. So if you have to switch lenses, you're missing prime opportunity to get the shots that you need. And so I'm like, all right, if I have a second camera body, it's the same thing as the other one. I found one like dirt cheap at the time on Facebook Marketplace, and I just used like 2 of the different lenses I had, like a ultra wide and a 50 millimeter or something. Yeah. All of a sudden it was like a whole new world, you know. But yeah, I actually got rid of the one that I bought. A buddy has it now, and I still have the original one. I can't get rid of it. I'm like, it's history right here.
I feel the same way, but I actually sold mine, but I sold it to my brother. So it's like, it's still in the family, and if I ever need it, it's right there, but it's nice to look at from time to time. How come you didn't get a zoom lens, or do you prefer primes?
I've only actually had one prime, and it's the Nifty 50, because that's the thing that everybody buys because it's like $100 for an awesome upgrade from a kit lens. And for a while, I was rocking just the Nifty 50, because when you're shooting low light, you need like at least 2.8 aperture. The 1.8 was extra helpful, but it's limiting. And so actually, I was interning at a music venue. Small music venue in Philadelphia at that point in time, like early days of me doing all this. And it had been there for like 10 months. Somebody left like a Tamron lens, just a 17-35, like 2.8-4 aperture zoom lens. And I've been there, and my supervisor was like, hey, I don't know if this would work for your camera, but this has been here and nobody has called about it. Nobody's ever asked about it. Like, if it works, you can have it.
Dang.
And sure enough, it was a Canon EF mount, full frame lens, popped it on, nothing wrong with it. Like, not the highest quality lens in the world, but for me, I was, again, poorest time of my life. Getting like a lens that cost $300 or some bucks at the time was like again, massive upgrade. Funny enough, I still to this day use that lens on my like backup camera, because it works. Like nowadays, right now I'm shooting on like 24-70 L series lens because that was the big upgrade. But yeah, zoom lenses for what I do. If I were doing just like in studio portrait photography or something like that, sure, primes would probably be better. But I just need versatility, you know?
Yeah. What do you shoot with now?
Now it's funny trying to figure out like what's the A cam, what's the B cam, but I would say the A cam is the Canon R5C, and then the B cam is a Canon C200. Okay. And the form factor on the C200 is awesome. I love it. But the truth of the matter is the R5C is just way more flexible and way more of a powerhouse. So if the C200 had 10-bit, it would be a different story. But yeah, shooting R5C and the C200 primarily.
I'm not super familiar with those ones. Like after the T5i, like I completely left Canon. Yep. Why are you still Canon versus Sony, Blackmagic, or anything else?
Honestly, you could equate it to being like a fanboy, but a little bit less than that. Canon is what I know. It's what I'm comfortable with. The lenses that I've gotten, I have that are Canon. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm like, there's so many other things changing all the time in video and video strategy and video marketing. So many different things for me to think about in the business. Having the tool that I know, that I understand, that I'm comfortable with, that I can just get right to like making the stuff that I need to fulfill the bigger picture. That's the most important thing to me. So Canon is that. I know Canon's good. I know it's going to get done what I need it to. It's reliable. The mounts are everywhere. It's compatible everywhere. And so for me, it's just, I know that Canon's going to work. Could Sony work just as well? Absolutely. You know, there's some finicky things, some trade-offs, of course. Blackmagic, same type of thing. Everyone's got trade-offs, right? But for me, Canon is like, are you going to get the most brand new, groundbreaking, bleeding edge tech? Probably not. Do I need that? No. So it's just the safe bet for me.
If you were to sell everything right now, right, what camera would you get?
I mean, dude, it's undeniable that the FX3 is a beast, right? Yeah. The FX3 is a beast, but if I had to go with one camera or one camera to be like the flagship leading thing that I would use, I would maybe go like the FX6. Okay. Just because, again, it's a beast. It's that form factor, that cinema body is awesome. If nothing mattered and I had just budget to throw all around, I would probably say the Canon C400. Mm-hmm. That thing is going to be sick. But like, again, I think the FX6 is something that you really can't go wrong with.
Yeah, I'm looking at the FX3. Like, long story short, I'm looking to sell my Blackmagics to get an FX3 instead because I'm getting old, man. My back is hurting now. These cameras are heavy, like fully rigged out, like they're heavy.
Dude, they are some serious hardware right there. They're big, bulky. Part of me loves that, but I also very, very much get that, like, hey, especially if you're shooting things where you're holding camera all day, like events or whatever, that could be a killer.
Yeah, I don't know. I went through a little phase where it's like, let's make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger, and it's just now it's too big, and even stripped down to the bare minimum, it's still a heavy camera.
Yeah, well, dude, that's why. I mean, you want to go the complete opposite. The FX3 is like a tiny box, but that's why I like the R5C. It's got that hybrid form factor because I still do some photography, or I just like to do photography. So I've got that. I've got the cinema menus and features and everything. Don't have internal NDs. Some other trade-offs, but like for something that small, if I need to run it like run and gun, I can. You know, I can build it up if I want, but you know, you're using something like some of the Blackmagic cameras or like an FX6 or even like the Canon real cinema line. Yeah, you got a bulky piece of hardware take around with you.
Yep, definitely. What kind of equipment do you use besides cameras, like lighting, anything like that?
Yeah, dude. I mean, the standard stuff, right? Like I use Amaran lights rather than aperture, just because I take care of my stuff. I don't really beat it up. I'm not getting on like full production gigs where it's like a big crew and everything. So I use Amaran lights, 100x, 200x, Sennheiser, like MKH416. That's a tried and true like industry staple mic. Pretty standard stuff that you would use. I think for me, it's more about like what's going to be that walk the line of quality, but not like overbuilt. What's going to get the job done without unnecessarily just investing in a serious, crazy piece of gear that you could just maybe rent or get for like a single shoot.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you use easy rigs at all?
No, personally, no. A lot of my stuff, like all my stuff's interview based. And so I don't really do a whole lot of events. Not like doing crazy rigged up cameras. It's pretty straightforward. Again, I'm usually like at most throwing on a monitor maybe to a camera. But again, if I'm using the C200, it's got it built in. Everything's pretty straightforward. So for me, the most built up thing I'm doing is throwing the R5C on a Ronin gimbal, and it's going to be used for some shots, you know. As far as the like run around with an easy rig, would it be dope? Absolutely. But for me, it's just something that's not necessary.
What kind of projects have you been working on?
Lot of brand story videos. Like for me, it's you've got two sides of the coin really that are essential nowadays. You've got the video content, because everybody's talking about content. You need to be creating content, posting it. And then you've got video assets. And the assets are the things that are a little more evergreen. They're the sales tools. They're going to convert people once they're already interested. And so I love shooting the assets. That's the type of stuff where you're going to be able to dive deep. There's a lot of psychology going on into it. You can really get somebody to kind of open up in an interview. Whereas the content is like, what's trending right now? What's going to like get people commenting? What's going to polarize some people? They're both important. I shoot both. But you know, if I'm showing up for a content shoot, way more bare bones, way more stripped down setup, because we're just kind of like probably out on a job site or out in the field or in an office real quick setting up and getting some talking points. Yeah. If we're doing assets, I'm usually bringing on like 2 extra people for a crew. We've got a real elaborate plan for the day. And, again, 2 sides of the same coin, but they're both important.
How did you transition from doing like band stuff to this?
Yeah, that was tough, because the band stuff was a really big part of my life. It's how I got into all this. A lot of my close friends were involved in all that stuff, and I just got burnt out because, again, not a lot of money in the pot overall in that scene, on like a local or regional level. So I was working as much as I could, trying to do anything I could to get success there, and making very little. And so I got burnt out. I told all my friends and the bands I was working with, hey, look, I got to step back from this. I got to focus on doing some of my stuff a little more. And at the time, around the same time, my one buddy who was in one of the bands, his dad ran like, not like a med spa, but like a dermatology type of like office for injectables, and like he's a doctor that does like Botox and stuff like that.
Okay.
And long story short, I did a project with him, ran it like a standard sales meeting, diagnosing the problems, coming up with solutions, and quoted him, and he was like, yeah, okay, we could do that. And I just remember it was far, far beyond anything I had ever priced out for the band stuff. And I just remember being like shaking. Like I went out to the car afterward, and I was just like, holy shit. So that was the eye opener to be like, I can take this skill set that I've learned doing the thing that got me into this, that I was passionate about, that eventually burnt me out, and now I can apply it to working with businesses, because the underlying technical skills are all you really need. but having that understanding of how business works, that's the real key transition. So that was my like wake up call.
What is the most expensive project that you sold?
That technically it was probably that one. The caveat there is that we didn't finish that project. It was going to be a video series of like 15 videos, and we got like a couple of them done. So I had quoted like maybe 22 grand or something like that, which at the time, again, I was like, holy crap. The amount of work that it would have ended up being per video wouldn't have been the most ideal thing in the world.
Yeah.
Again, at the time, that was just, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Now, I would say probably the best like amount of deliverables to pricing ratio would be like maybe 16 grand. We did a brand story, like a video business card, and a couple extra like smaller deliverables with batch content. So again, the video assets there, we did some of the cornerstone ones with that batch of content where it was like more rapid fire questions for like socials and things like that. And that ballpark is what we kind of try and shoot for nowadays, to give people best of both worlds, where they're getting those assets, they're also getting the content to, you know, get the attention, to pull it back to that conversion step.
How are you finding your clients? Is it mainly word of mouth or what?
It's a lot of just networking, like word of mouth networking. You're going to hear so many conflicting things online nowadays of people going like, you need to be doing this. Like, so you finally realize that like networking or word of mouth isn't going to work. Be like, how are you finding consistent clients? You got to run ads. Everybody's got their own different thing that they're talking about. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, it's like whatever's working for you, if you keep doing that, run with that. Like, yeah, there's always going to be a more optimized or streamlined way of doing things, but the amount of time that it takes to shift gears into that and get that running right, a lot of the times for a lot of people, you're going to take a massive step back before you can spring forward with that. So for me, it's networking, going out to like events and meeting people, getting that face time with them, and then working off of that existing network of people. So I'll bring people into my world, then I'll post content out consistently, and I'm staying in front of them. I call it impossible to ignore. It's like, how can I make myself so visible, so consistently to the people I'm connecting with and networking with? That way they see me and they're like, whether they want to do video or they know someone who wants to do video, they're going to go, we gotta contact Dave. Like, I gotta reach out to him. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times they're not the ones leaving comments or liking. They're the ones shooting you a message or giving you a call. Be like, I've been seeing you everywhere, man. So that's the big way for me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about your stuff. Like, I'm always seeing your stuff everywhere. And it's like, man, like this inspires me to put more of my own stuff out there. That's what I've always been bad about. It's like, I can do everyone else's content, but when it comes to my stuff, it's like, I just don't want to do it.
It's hard to put ourselves first, man, right? Because like we got a list, and here's the order of the list that it's in. It goes us or our clients. We got to fulfill for our clients because they're paying us.
Yep.
Then it's finding new clients, right? What can we do to go find new clients? And then it's us. And sometimes it needs to be flipped around, because I know that any of times historically where I go into a period of time where I'm posting content consistently, good things happen. People contact me, opportunity comes my way. And then if I start focusing on, delivering, or I'm not really posting a whole lot, who would have thought? That slows down. So it's kind of like forcing and reminding ourselves, what can we do even when we're doing client work to just stay consistently visible? Because sure, we can make the fancy polished content and post it out. But even if we're staying busy, say we have a shoot every single day of the week, just pulling out the phone and getting some behind the scenes pictures, a quick video. Big thing I do is when we're wrapped up, I just pull out the camera and I go, so we're here with so-and-so client right now. Be like, how'd today go? And I just get them to like on the spot, just say like, oh my God, this was awesome. We had a great time. Be like, we got some good stuff coming. Like gonna post it out soon. Stoked, whatever. Like just a quick little anecdote to show people that we're doing stuff goes a long way and takes almost zero additional effort.
Yep, I agree. So, do you find yourself recording more with the phone for your own content, or do you like set up the whole thing, or what?
It's a mix. It's definitely a mix. And it's the reason I say that is the phone is always there. You know, the best camera you have is the one that's in your hand at the moment that you need it. So for me, I'm a lot of the times pulling out my phone when I have an idea and just talking about it to the camera. Or if you know, I'm listening to a video or a podcast and I really like something that gets said, I'll pause it, pull out my phone, and re-explain the concept in my own way to like make it make sense to me. So a lot of the times, like opportunity just strikes and I just pull out my phone because it's there. Other times, I'll sit down, I'll set everything up, I'll record a batch of videos where I'm going to get done maybe 10, maybe 20 videos all at once, based on kind of a mix of concepts that I've been talking or thinking about a lot recently, as well as whatever just rolls off the tongue. Because I'm sure you know, as soon as you just kind of like get into a groove, stuff starts flying. So that's kind of how I typically divide it.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember you posted a story saying that you were doing 85 videos. It's like, dude, like, how are you doing 85? Like,
no, dude, I'm definitely not doing 85. That's just, you know, you say dumb stuff and people are like, you get people fired up, you know, but no, dude, realistically, a good content batch for me is like, if I get 15 videos done, I'm feeling good. 87, I don't know if I could get 85 or 87 done in one session. I'd have to do a lot of planning on that one, but not to say it can't be done.
Yeah, because to me, it's like I do 1 hour of talking and like I'm done. Like I need a rest. Like I'm naturally introverted. So like all this talking and doing things and all that, it's like, oh man, I'm worn out.
Yeah, I get it. On the flip side, I'm naturally extroverted. Like I get energized when I'm out and about and around people. But even still, like, in any given day, I could be recording content, I could be doing meetings, I could be doing live streams, recording video messages to send to people. And by the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, my mouth muscles are sore and my mouth is dry. Yeah. And my voice is shot. And I'm like, how did I even get here? I need to chill. So like, I think knowing about when you hit that point or knowing what that point is something good to keep in mind. Because I know for me, if I'm talking for like 3 hours consistently, I'm probably about to tap out. So It's like, if I've got that much in me on any given day of the week, plan accordingly.
But what has been your worst project? Something that you don't ever want to do again? Like what types of projects do you never want to do again? And what has been your worst?
Yeah, okay. I think for me, it's a split question, right? Because there's the worst type of project, and then there's the worst projects for certain reasons. And for me, the worst type of project that I could be doing, like for me personally, is probably like a long form event recap. Like think about like wedding recaps and like wedding videography. Personally, I could not be bothered to do that stuff. I never have. It's never interested me. Before I ever got involved in any of this, I worked banquet serving for 5 years when I was younger. So for me, I'm like, yeah, I want my weekends back, or I want to be able to enjoy my weekends. So I think for me, it's that type of stuff. It's just sifting through hours of footage to try and like come up with something interesting. No, thank you. However, the worst projects that I could think of, without like name dropping or anything like that, one comes to mind, two come to mind specifically, different types of projects. However, the points of contact, the people, you know, that paid us, hired us for the projects, nightmares. And the reason is they had such specific hands-on vision for what they wanted. Like to the detail, to the frames of the transition, like crossfade transition. Like I'm talking very hands-on, very helicopter over the shoulder type of editing process. And the thing is, when you hire me or you hire us or my company, we go through this process of explaining like the strategy, the idea, the reason for doing it. We take into account so much of what the client wants, what their goals are, what their needs are. But at the end of the day, you're hiring us because you've seen our work, you trust what we're doing, and you're bringing us on to make it happen. So to micromanage like every single point and then go back and rechange things that were not talked about before and all of that, it's not worth it. And so there's, throughout the history of doing this, a couple projects that come to mind like that if they were to come back to me and ask about doing more work, it would be a resounding no. or hey, I know somebody, let me refer you to someone else and make a couple calls, and then getting back to them and going, actually nobody else is available because I can't in good conscience pass them to somebody else.
Man. See, the crazy thing is, I'm the exact opposite of you. I love doing long form content. Like the short form stuff, it's like I enjoy it, but you have to be so nitpicky on that. Like I have so much content that I need to squeeze into like a minute or less, or 15 seconds now. And I personally hate doing that. But the long form content, I can take all this, I can build up the story, I can make it as long as I want it to be, and do the visuals and all that kind of stuff. And then what was the other thing you said that you hated?
Micromanaging.
And that's the other thing. I love when people micromanage because, check it out, that means less work on me. If they know exactly what they want, if they know I want it to be this long, this transition, this music, whatever, it makes my job easier because I can do it exactly how they want it. Do I like the way they did it? Probably not, but it's what they wanted, and it's like, all right, no thought process from me. Let me just do it how you want it and be done with it.
I think the stipulation is when in the process that gets discussed. Because if you go into it knowing we're going to want exactly this, this, and this is how we want it done, fine. Like you said, I don't have to think about it. Like, it's not the projects that I typically take on or get contacted about, but I'm with you. It's like, cool, here's what we want, communicate it up front. This is how we want it to look and sound. All right, I can make that happen. But the projects that were the nightmares for what I did, where we get into it, where they kind of like trust the vision and what we communicate, and then they're like, then the micromanaging kicks in once it's already underway. Gotcha. So it's like we went through this process of constructing what we figured would be the best case scenario based on everything we learned in this deep dive about your business, as well as our years of expertise of doing this. And now it's like, actually scrap all that. We want to do this, this, and this, and then every step along the way. So if someone's like it's communication. That's the big thing. If you can openly and upfront and often communicate what you want it to be, that's the dream. That's the dream.
Yep. Yeah. To me, the worst clients, and this is going to be for every type of business, are the cheapest ones. Like, I'm sure you've had that experience at some point. The cheapest people will give you the most issues. Like, I do graphic design as well, right? So I create logos and all that for people, and I'm doing this one logo for someone, and I gave her what I thought was a really nice logo, and I put all this effort into it. Oh, well, I want this, I want that. It's like, okay, well, it's like you're saying, why wasn't that communicated first? But okay, that's fine. By the end of it, oh man, it was a terrible look. Like, I don't even want to post it. I don't want to show it at all. But in that case, like, I find the cheapest people to be the most hassle, where the more expensive ones are like, all right, here's your money, on to the next.
Yeah, dude, it's the difference of expectations, and what it really boils down to is if somebody is if for somebody spending $500 on a video, say for example, like, to them, they're spending such a higher percentage of their marketing spend. They probably don't have marketing spend put aside, so for them, this is coming out of their pocket, their takeaway, So the stakes are so much higher for them. They need this to perform. They need it to do something. They need it to be the silver bullet solution. And so they're going to, of course, want everything the right way that they think it's going to work. Because if it doesn't, it's like, oh my God, I just lost all this money. For somebody else who's got, marketing budgets put aside, they can take the risk a little bit more. If you're spending, $50,000 a year or, way higher than that a year on marketing, then sure, 500 is a drop in the ocean. 5,000 is reasonable. Then it's like, okay, yeah, let's make this happen. So it's just a difference of expectations, which again is part of that discovery process of really vetting somebody. Because it's not just like, gone are the days of clients just vetting their vendors that they're hiring. Especially in today's day and age, vendors have to also vet the clients, because you've got only so much time and energy that you can put into a day or a week or a month. And if you're sinking all of that into one person or one organization, that is just taking it all up and paying you not enough, probably. That's just bad business.
Yeah. Okay. What business tips do you have for people? Because as video people, we put our art first, and then we put business second. So what business stuff have you learned along the way?
Yeah, I think you can go so wide with this, but the one thing, because you said as video people, we put the art first a lot of the time. I think it's knowing where on the fence or where on the sliding scale you sit of art versus business. Because for me, it's way more business leaning. Like, I love communication. I love, like, not even storytelling in the sense of what everybody says nowadays. Like, you got to tell your story, man. Like, true narrative building that's going to resonate with people. And video is the best tool that we've got to do it. I don't inherently love every part of video. Like, the editing process a lot of the times is a nightmare to me. Figuring out all the proper exposure and flagging things off and like all of that, to me, is not the most exciting part. My DP that I've been working with for 5 or 6 years, he loves it. And so that's his strength. So for me, I know I lean more business, and some people lean more art. And I think the biggest strength you can have is to surround yourself with people that complement that balance the scale. So if I had to constantly be in both business and art mode, that's hard. Like, it's hard to shift between those things. It takes some time and it takes some energy. So if I can put myself more often in the business setting and then work with a crew and editors and things like that love to focus on the art aspect, that's the best case scenario. I think that's been a big game changer for me over the years, is being able to budget projects accordingly, to bring on people who are great at what they do and want to focus in on just that.
If you had to pick one thing, like, editing, filming, or the business part, like, which one thing would you pick?
To do or to never have to do again?
Both.
If there were the one part of business, and this is a great question, because I'll ask this in a lot of interviews with people, is like, you wake up for there's a reason you wake up and do this thing every day. Like, what is that? So for me, it's the conversations. It's stuff like this. We're talking and we're diving beneath the surface a little bit. The deep dive process of video and the way that I do it is what I love. If I could just, I feel like running a like a talk show. If I could just be a late night talk show host, or run like the Oprah show type thing. Like, I love that aspect where it's just getting someone to think more than just what they're so close to, like take a step back and give people that perspective. I would do that. And that typically comes in the interview process, which is why all our projects are interview based. Okay. The thing that I would love to never do again, editing, hands down, editing. If I could have a pro edit just all the time, like I've got a couple people that I work with who are fantastic editors, and I love them for that. But if I still do some of my stuff in some projects, and if I could never have to do that again, man, I'd be in a good spot.
Yep. Yeah, I tell everyone all the time, like, I try and find anything I can do to get away from the computer. Like I don't even play games on the computer. Like I got a Steam Deck, so I'll play that over there away from this because when I'm here, it's work. Like when I'm here, I need to focus. I need to be on the computer, and after being on it all day, I don't want to be here anymore.
I feel you.
So
I feel you, man. You need that space away. Like introverted, extroverted, whatever it is. Like, dude, sometimes I just have to take a break, step out, and be like, okay, I need to go for a walk and just get some sun. Like, clear my mind from just screen. You know. So I
yeah.
feel you.
So you mentioned you're from Chicago, correct?
Philly, baby.
Oh,
City
Philly.
of brotherly love. Go Birds.
I haven't been there yet. I mean, I had a layover, but one day I'm gonna make it out there. Do you travel for your projects, or is it all like in city?
It's a mix. We have traveled. I don't say that I do travel. I'm willing to travel, but I think in today's day and age, like being able to do so much remotely is a big deal. Like I've traveled for shoots to Florida, Texas, surprisingly Omaha, Nebraska. Never thought work would take me there, but like, and surrounding states. But yeah, nowadays if I almost lean more towards like who do I know in that area that I can outsource like the shooting aspect to, and then I've done it where I'll remotely come in for an interview and just be on Zoom for the interview part and then let them run everything else. So
Okay.
yeah, it's the reach is global nowadays. We're a global company.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, if you have anything in Texas, DFW specifically, just let me know.
It's good to know. It's good to know that I've got people in pockets all over the place, man. I wait for the day that I need to tap in to get you out on a shoot.
Yeah, me too. Okay, what is your dream? Like, what is your ultimate goal if you could say anything?
in business, lifestyle, project. What are you
Well,
thinking?
I'm thinking business, but I mean, it kind of all leads to the same thing. But like business mainly, but I guess all three.
Yeah. So for me, the whole like dream goal has it shifts. I think it's a moving target a little bit over the years because I feel like if we all knew perfectly what exactly we want and what we want out of our business or our lives, if we knew perfectly that, it'd be so much easier to just work backwards and figure out the exact steps to get there and do it. I don't think it's that easy. I think
Yeah.
for me, I've gone through a series of thinking that, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want for my life. This is what I want it to look like. This is what I want it to be. And then you get there or you get close to it or you get parts of that checked off and you realize like, maybe that wasn't the thing that's actually going to make me happy, or that's the thing that like I want for myself. So it's not a direct answer, right? But right now, I think for me, it's being able to find fulfillment in the work that I do, like meaningful work, because I've gone through this period of time where I've done a lot of content, and I will be honest with you, man, I'm exhausted of content. Like, if I there was a day a couple weeks ago where I logged on, I saw like 3 posts in a row that are just like, here's the way that you can get tons of content done. Use AI to make content. I'm like, I'm sickened by this. It is just, is this what it is? And I know socials are like an echo chamber, so whatever you're around, it shows you more of that.
Yeah.
But I just keep thinking to myself, how do I show me other stuff? Like, what else can I see? So for me, it's, I'm in the process of getting more back to the narrative-based aspect of video and video projects, less disposable content, more evergreen assets, because to me, the process of creating those and delivering them and implementing them for people is way more fulfilling.
Gotcha. Yeah, so like I feel that way about fitness because I got my start in fitness. I did a lot of fitness videos. I was around nothing but fit people, and it's just I'm burnt out on that. Like I don't want to do anything with fitness again. I will if I'm getting paid for it, but I really don't want to. Like, I want to do anything else but fitness. So now when I'm seeing all this video stuff on my timelines and all that, like, I'm loving it. It's just, it's something different compared to what I'm used to.
I think that's the big thing is it's social media, right? It's a gift and a curse. And nowadays everything's so dialed in to figure out what you want to see. So it starts showing you so much of that. And like that's a great thing because it gets you interested more, you learn so much more so rapidly, but then it becomes like poisonous where it's just that consumes you and that's all you see. Like I believe that as people we are meant to be not well-rounded, but we're meant to experience like different things. I think there's beauty in being able to consume stuff and interpret it in your own way and put it back out into the world in a way that's a little bit unique. And so for me, it's I get that by going out and meeting people and networking and having conversations. So it's become a lot more of at this point, like what is my dream? It's being in a position where my role in the business relies much more heavily on me going out and having those conversations, more so than maybe the business development aspect of things instead of the technical. Because I love nerding out on cameras and gear and stuff and even the psychology aspect of it. But if that's all I'm seeing online, like I don't want to have so much downtime that I can just doom scroll, you know?
Yeah. I forgot to ask, how old are you now?
I will be 30 in November, so I'm 29.
Okay. Well, what day in November?
28th.
Oh, close to me. I'm the 15th.
Oh my God! Happy early birthday, man!
Happy early
November's
birthday
a good month to be born.
But let's talk about AI real quick. Are you using anything? Are you utilizing anything?
Here and there, I've gone down the rabbit hole of AI like way too much, where I start thinking, okay, it's here, it's happening, people are using it, and if I'm not using it, I'm falling behind.
Yeah.
So I want to avoid falling behind. And then I go down and figure out like, all right, how can I integrate this into everything that I'm doing? And I'm kind of at a point now again where I'm a little bit burnt out, and I'm realizing, yes, there's ways to utilize it that are useful, but for me, it's like dial in your own systems first, because I made the mistake of trying to just pass off. Like I tried making AI do new stuff for me that I hadn't already been doing, and like figuring that out, and it kind of forced me to like speed up and like half do a process. So what I've been doing now is mainly just using like Chat GPT. I trained my own GPT, a custom GPT on like all of my processes of how I do business pretty much. And I spent probably too much time training it on that too. But now I'm in a spot where if I have a question about something, or if I'm trying to brainstorm something and it's just taking me too long to get there into that mode, I'll just ask Rick, my AI employee, I'll just ask him, be like, hey, what would you do if you were like in the position, you've just been promoted to like the director of sales for Foxal Media. How would you handle this thing?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. And I mean, again, you know, the problem with AI is that whatever you put in, you got to put in good to get out good. So like the prompts, learning how to prompt things properly has been a process, but you know, giving it the right context, it's just like people. That's the thing that I don't think people understand about AI is if you want to have good communication with a person, you have to provide them context and clarity and make sure that there's an understanding there and that the right information is present. And that's just all it is with AI too, except you have to work a little harder to make it connect the dots. And it's just, I think the reason that it's crazy to me that you see so many people saying like the best prompts, the hacks, how to use AI the best, because like it just shows how many people need that extra help with communication in general. And that's a little alarming, but it's also the reason there's so much opportunity nowadays, because like it or not, the bar's never been lower.
Yep. Okay, I have two more questions for you and then we can be done. What is your, I may have already asked it, but like what is your goal that you're working toward right now?
Ooh, great question. Right now, it's a little bit of a pivot because I've been focusing a lot the past year and a half on like Foxal Media is a company that works with like home services and like blue collar businesses and things like that. And I'm kind of shifting to open up opportunity a little wider again. Not to say that I don't love working with the home service niche. It's just that for me, I'm having more of these conversations around and in wanting to shift back into the narrative driven stuff. There's so many businesses and so many people and organizations that need and will benefit from that I think I'd be doing myself a disservice by just speaking to one subsect of that kind of market there. So it's becoming kind of a shift in the branding and marketing to make what I do more desirable to businesses in general. The de-niching, if you will. Plus, Philadelphia has a lot going on in 2026. We've got the 250 years of our country. There's like other anniversaries, like centennial anniversaries of things going on. We've got the World Cup coming there. We've got the MLB Home Run Derby and All-Star Game. Like there's a lot going on. And so I've got some stuff in the works to get as integrated as possible with organizations and people in the city of Philadelphia because I love it, man. I love my city.
Okay. Let me know if you need help on that. Play
Hell
out
yeah,
there,
dude.
make it happen.
I
Okay,
love it.
so last question is like, for people that are getting into video, right? What any tip that you can give them?
Oh man,
Let's rephrase that real quick. They see you, they want to be the next Dave. How can they be you, but in their own way?
that's a great question, man. Because here's the thing, like you can look at people online who are doing video, who've been doing it for years and posting about it, and you can go, I want that. I want what they have. And early on, you might be tempted to just kind of copy, steal like an artist. But the thing is, you have to have an understanding. The biggest wisdom that I can impart on anyone who's getting into video is that understanding is what will progress you and build a strong foundation. Because if you just watch YouTube tutorials and just like, okay, I know how to do this thing. Mm-hmm. If you don't have that understanding of like, how do I recreate this in my own setting? You're not going to build, So if you're looking like at me and you see me and the things I'm putting out there, like I've had people copy word for word marketing stuff that I put out there. I've had people literally like rip an exact clone of my website and just swap their stuff on there. Whatever. But you don't know what I know. Like you don't know what you don't have the same understanding that I do about the stuff that's out there and why I do it. So if you're getting into video, you got to build that understanding. So just if you can be around other people, if you can help, assist, shadow, be on set with other people, help other people with projects, take on your own stuff, mess up, and then improve, that's what it's going to take to build and have that well-rounded experience. Because it doesn't matter what coach or course or mastermind or anything you look at online, there is no silver bullet to success. You are going to have to learn and then act upon that knowledge for it to stick for you and make it make sense. My biggest tip for anybody in general is just like take the imperfect action. It doesn't matter how, like, okay, I got it to 80%. How do I make it so much better? What's the little dash on top that can make this the thing that is perfect for people? Like, dude, it doesn't matter, because the getting it out there like will get people to start noticing and then start watching, and then they'll give feedback. And then once you have feedback, that's the most valuable stuff, man. It's like, all right, now I know what I can actually do to improve this, because otherwise we're just taking our best guess And if we're just taking our best guess, it's not worth that extra crazy amount of time to get it marginally better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm very guilty of this. It's like this the tiniest little detail that you think is gonna make the whole video, nobody even notices it. Spend
I get it, dude.
4 hours on something and no one even pays attention to it. But yeah,
I get it, man. Yeah, we're all too guilty. It's a never-ending learning process, you know. But the sooner we can accept that, and the better we are.
Yep. Before we end, can you name any of all your social media? I'll have it on the screen or description and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to be helpful as possible. I can be contacted on plenty of social media platforms, but where you'll find me the best is Facebook. I'm David Lisowski over there. On Instagram, I'm at Big Video Guy. I'm on other platforms also as Big Video Guy, but honestly, Instagram is probably your best bet, or YouTube. I'm Dave Lisowski over on YouTube as well.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's all the questions I have for you.
What about you, dude? What's your big thing you're working toward right now?
Oh man, I'm just trying to get a new client. But my big thing is my ultimate goal is to not have to work. I know that's everyone's goal, but let me explain it. I want to own a big media company where if there needs to be a shooter, hey, go shoot this. This needs to be edited. Hey, go edit this. Just have a team of people, a crew of people that I can send out anywhere in the U.S. and I can just kind of be in the back and managing it all. That's always been my goal.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, it sounds like you're moving in that direction with your in-house editor that you've got on board right now.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I recently got married. And I've been teaching her how to edit. I've been teaching her how to film. It's been about a year now, and she's gotten really good. It's just crazy how good that she's gotten. Man, she has me worried. I think she's better than me.
She's gonna take your job, man.
Man, hopefully. But
that's right.
Yeah, hopefully. But she's really good at the short form content. So we kind of complement each other on that. She does short form, I do long form, and yeah, she's been a great help.
That's a hell of a partnership right there, man. Sounds like you are already in the right direction, dude.
Really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. Hopefully in the future, we can come out, have you out on another episode, catch up with you maybe 6 months from now or something, see how things are going.
I'm here for it, man. You just shoot me the message, send me the word, and I will send up a smoke signal. I will keep an eye out, and I will be there for it, man.
All right, thank you.
Hell yeah.
So that was behind the scenes with Dave Lisowski. I'm going to mess that up to the day I die. I apologize, man. But yeah, so hopefully I got to learn a little bit about Dave and Foxal Media, what he does, how we got into it. If you are in the video industry, if you do anything video related, reach out to me. And if you want to be a guest on the show, let's make it happen. I'm Vince Giaswolner Productions, and this was Behind the Scenes. All right, so let's talk about your business.
Oh, what just happened?
The name of it, Foxal Media.
Happened?
How did you come up with that?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Where is it? Did I lose you? Can you hear me? Oh, no. Ah. Ah.
All right.
Is that me or is that you?
I think that was you. We've been having problems all day with this.
Dude. We're right back at it again. So, yeah, despite all of the technical difficulties, I know that you're a pro at what you do, and it's funny as shit when we were just like, yeah, third time's a charm, because I'm like, how have I been doing this for 8 years and not have this stuff figured out at this point with this
tell
shit?
Me about it.
No way. Did it mess up again? What the Here, you're going to see that I actually just have shorts on instead of
Man, as long as you're not naked, it's cool.
I got you, man. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, take 3.